Hello students, now in this video we will see our second method to find the solution to the LPP, that is simplex method. Simplex method. Now in previous video we have seen that we had reduced the given LPP into its standard form, and also we have found its initial basic feasible solution. But we have observed that the initial basic feasible solution cannot provide the optimal solution to the LPP, but the improvement of that solution can provide the optimal solution to LPP if it exists. So for that we will use this method. So I simply write, we observe that initial basic feasible solution cannot provide optimal solution to the LPP, but improvement of this solution can provide the optimal solution to the LPP if it exists. Now this improved solution can be seen or can be obtained by an iterative method. In second year BSc you have learned numerical analysis. In that one you had seen many iterative methods to find solution to various equations, roots of equations and so on. Similarly, this is also one of the iterative method, and this method is called as what here? This method is called as simplex method. This is known as simplex method. Now in simplex method we can summarize, as I say in previous video, in simplex method we are using the initial basic feasible solution. So here we can summarize the IBFS. Of given LPP in tabular form. In a table we are summarizing it, tabular form, called as initial simplex table. That is known as initial simplex table. Now how does that table will be created? Let us see. Now the initial simplex table can be formed as such. Here in this cell we will write CB. Here we will do two parts, CJ, and here I will write B. This is CJ. I will write CJ towards this side and I will write B towards this side. Now here I will write XB. Here I will write ratio. Now what are these? Let me explain. Wait for a minute. Now here I will write Zj minus Cj. And here it will be Z. Z is equal to summation CB into XB. Whatever CB and XB are there, we have to take the product of them and we have to add them. So that will be our Z. Okay. Now, what does this exactly? Let me take one example. Already we had taken one example of to convert the given LPP into its standard form. So, let me take one example. Suppose maximize Z equal to 5x1 plus 3x2 subject to 3x1 plus 5x2 less equal 15. Second constraint 6x1 plus 2x2 less equal 24, and such that x1 x2 greater equal 0. This is the first problem we had taken to convert the given LPP into its standard form and find initial basic feasible solution if exists. You can check that. What is the standard form? Already I had taught you. The standard form we are using in a initial simplex table. Now what is the standard form of this LPP here? Standard form of this LPP is. What does that here? Maximize Z equal to 5x1 plus 3x2 plus 0s1 plus 0s2. S1 is a slack variable, S2 is also a slack variable. Subject to 3x1 plus 5x2 plus S1 equal to 15. Then 6x1 plus 2x2 plus S2 equal to 24, such that x1, x2, S1, S2 greater equal 0 and S1, S2 are what? Slack variables. This is our standard form here. And what is initial basic feasible solution? For initial basic feasible solution, we are setting x1 equal to x2 equal to 0. So that gives us z is equal to 0 with s1 equal to 15 and s2 equal to 24. You know, this will give us that it produces nothing while it depends on the unused amount, that is S1 and S2. Now, how does we will write these things here? Now, here these x1, x2 are setting to 0, means these are non-basic variable. So, now here in this simplex table, first of all, let me explain one by one. Now, here how many variables in our objective function of standard form of LPP? x1, x2, s1, s2. So, those variables we have to write here as x1, x2, s1, s2. Whatever the variables are here, all them I will write here. Now, this Cj means coefficients of all these variables in objective function. What is the coefficient of x1? 5. Coefficient of x2? 3. Coefficient of s1? 0. And coefficient of s2 is also 0. Now, here this b is the what? Basis of basic variables. Now, clearly x1, x2, 0 means these are non-basic variables. So, the basic variables are s1 and s2. So, here I will write s1 and s2. B is basis of basic variables. So S1, S2. Now this CB means coefficients of them in objective function. So what is the coefficient of S1? It's 0 and coefficient of S2 is also 0. Now here I will write the coefficients of first constraint. Coefficient of first constraint. Now coefficient of x1 in first constraint is 3. Coefficient of x2 in first constraint is 5. Coefficient of s1 is 1. Coefficient of s2 is 0. And this xb means this right hand side constant. So that is 15. It should be positive. It is in standard form. Now this s2 will be again coefficient. For this second part, I will write the coefficients of this second constraint. So what are these? X1 having a coefficient 6, x2 having a coefficient 2, s1 is absent, so its coefficient 0, s2 having coefficient 1, and here I will write 24. Okay. Now what does this zj minus cj? This zj minus cj is nothing but the summation. What is the summation? Or it is a net evaluation. It is a summation of, we are taking a multiplication of CB into this quantity. 3 into 0, 0 plus 6 into 0, 0. So that addition will be 0 minus CJ. ZJ will be this part, this product, and CJ will be these coefficients. So 0 minus 5. So here I get minus 5. Similarly, here again 0 plus 0 minus 3. So I get minus 3. Here 1 into 0, 0 plus 0 into 0, 0 minus 0. So it will be 0. Now again 0 into 0, 0 plus 1 into 0, 0 minus this 0. So again this is also 0. As such we will form, or actually this part, this minus 5, minus 3, 0 and 0. This is the next calculation. This is the calculation for our next improved table. But except this, whatever we had written previously, all those things are getting from what? Initial basic feasible solution. Clearly you can check this z is equal to summation CBXB. Here we are getting z is equal to 0. That can be obtained. Look at it here. CB is 0. 15 into 0 will be 0 plus 24 into 0 will be 0 and 0 plus 0 is 0. Here we have to do its summation. That is our value of z. S1 is equal to 15. Look at here. S1 equal to 15. S2 equal to 24. S2 equal to 24. The same thing we are representing here, or we are summarizing here in this initial simplex table. Now let me write the meanings of these, all those things, that is CJ, CB, B, XB and all those things, ZJ minus CJ. Let me write them in detail. Now where this CJ equal to, what is CJ? Coefficients of all variables in objective function. Coefficients of all variables in objective functions. Then CB, it is coefficients of basic variables, in the objective function. You can check whatever I had explained, all these things are seen here. This B is basis of basic variables. basis of basic variables. Clearly here x1, x2 are non-basic, so s1, s2 are basic variables. Those variables we are setting to 0, they are known as non-basic, and those are not setting to 0, they are basic. So xb is the what? Solution values. Solution values of basic variables. Solution values of basic variables. And Zj minus Cj. What is Zj minus Cj? It is net evaluation row. It is net evaluation row or index row, or it is also known as index row. Now I had keep this table as it is while I had rubbed the example. Now I need this table for our few more definitions or few more observations here. For that purpose I am keeping it as it is. I will just rub these things here. Now is it clear to you? Zj minus Cj is very important here to get our next thing, that is pivot column or key column or pivot row or key row. From that one itself we will get our next improved table. That is, all those things are that much important, but this calculation is also important here. Is it clear to you? 3 into 0 is 0 plus 6 into 0 is 0. We have to add that plus, I am saying, minus Cj. So minus 5. So this will become minus 5. 0 minus 5 will be minus 5. Similarly here also that will be minus 3. Similarly here, so it remains 0. Okay. Now the next important definition we have to learn here, that is pivot column. Pivot column or key column. Pivot column or key column. Now there are different conditions for maximization and for minimization. So let me write first of all for maximization. For maximization, so the column with most negative, let me write detail, most negative, column with most negative value of index row. Most negative value of index row means what? Zj minus Cj. Zj minus Cj is called as the pivot column. Now, in this table we had formed for the given question, that is clearly it is in that one objective function is of maximization type. Now look at this Zj minus Cj. Which one is the most negative? We have to look for most negative. Now this, look, you can check, this is most negative here. So I will simply write here most negative. This is most negative means this one represent our pivot column. This one represent our pivot column or key column. Now for minimization, the condition is that for minimization, reverse condition, that the column with most positive value of index row index row or same Zj minus Cj is called as the pivot row. Sorry, not pivot row, it is pivot column, but for minimization type. Pivot column. Okay. Now, it indicates that the variable of this column will enter in a basis. Okay. It indicates means this variable for this column means this x1. x1 wants to enter in a basis, means it will take one of the position of this s1 or s2. It indicates that the variable of this column will enter into the basis B. Enter into the basis B. Now this is about pivot column, but to get pivot row or key row, first of all we need to find this ratio, this last one, ratio. What is the ratio? This ratio is equal to xb upon, it is ratio, so it is a division, xb upon values of entries from the pivot column. Values of entries from the pivot column means here this is our pivot column. So here the ratio will be this 15 divided by 3, xb divided by this 3. So here I will write 15 divided by 3, so it will give me 5. Again 24 divided by 6. 24 divided by 6, so that will give me 4. Now using this calculation, this 5 and 4, we get our next thing, that is next definition, or pivot row. Pivot row, or I can say key row. Why we have to get pivot row? To check this x1 will enter in a basis, but at which position? At s1 or s2. For that we will get pivot row, so that we can conclude that at which place it will enter, means what among these s1 and s2 wants to leave the basis. So the pivot row, or the row with minimum positive ratio is a pivot row. A row with minimum positive ratio is a pivot row. So what is for positive? Which one is the minimum among 5 and 4? This 4. So this is minimum here. This 4 is minimum, means this element, or here this x1 will enter in a basis at what? At s2. So s2 leaves the basis and x1 enter at the position of s2. So what can I say? It indicates that the variable of this row, it indicates that the variable of this row will leave the basis. Why it leave the basis? To make a space for entering a new variable. Okay, this is what? Because to make the space, because to make the space for entering variable, because to make a space for entering variable. Now I had make a box here to this element because it is the intersection. You can check, this is a pivot column and this is our pivot row. So this part is an intersection. This is intersecting point or intersecting element. Look at this. This is an intersecting element of this table. So this intersection element is known as a pivot element or the key element of that table. Okay. Now the next definition is of pivot element or key element. An element at the intersection of pivot row and pivot column. Definition: pivot element or key element. The element at the intersection, element at the intersection of pivot row and pivot column. Means here this 6 is our pivot element. Now this element plays a very important role to get our next table or the improved table if required. Now you know this Z is what? Summation CB into XB. This Z is equal to summation CB into XB. Clearly CB is here, XB is here. We have to take the product of CB and XB, corresponding CB with corresponding XB, and take their sum. Summation is the addition. Okay. Now this is what just I am writing, sum of the product of corresponding terms in the column or in the columns of CB and XB. Corresponding sum of corresponding entries in the column CB and XB, and this is called, this Z is called, now here you know, here Z is equal to 0, so that is a current solution. This is just an initial basic feasible solution, so this is called as current solution to that problem, current solution. But one more thing, we are aim to reach at optimal solution. So there are some observations of Zj minus Cj to reach at optimal solution. Now there is again, they are different for maximization type of problem and for minimization type of problem. So let me take them one by one. As I say, we have to reach to optimal solution. So observations of Zj minus Cj to reach at optimal solution. So for maximization problem, if all Zj minus Cj are greater equal 0, all are either 0 or strictly greater than 0, then the current solution is the optimal solution. is the optimal solution to that LPP. If not all Zj minus Cj greater equal 0, that is all Zj minus Cj are not greater equal 0, means at least one of them may be negative, then current solution is not optimal, while we need the improved table optimal, and hence we need next table called as improved table, and that table or that can be obtained by using some pivot operations. Now similarly, for minimization problem, obviously the reverse condition is here. If all Zj minus Cj are less equal 0, then the current solution is the optimal solution. Current solution is the optimal solution. If not all Zj minus Cj less equal 0, that is all Zj minus Cj, we will consider all. So if one of them doesn't satisfy, then also we need the next table. Then the current solution is not optimal, and hence we need next table called as again same improved table, and again same thing that can be obtained by doing some pivot operations. For minimization as well as for maximization, the pivot operations are required to get our improved table. But this is important observation that all Zj minus Cj greater equal 0, then optimal. If not all, then it is not optimal. Similarly, for minimization, all Zj minus Cj less equal 0, then optimal. If not all are less equal 0, then it is not optimal. These things you have to remember while solving the problems. So in next video, we will see the problems on this simplex method. We will see one by one. Now first one, we will see unique solution case, type 1 unique solution case. In that one, we will see some problems are of the type maximization with less than or equal to constants only. And then next things. Thank you.